everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through my makeup inventory numbers and my goals on, like my 2020 goals on what I want to use up, where I want to be at the end of everything. It's probably going to take me like a decade to get to some of my goals, but I'm dedicated, so it's okay. Also, I just realized I look like Shrek, but it's okay. I'm wearing a Grinch onesie. Look how cute. Can you even see? Probably not. Is it even worth showing you the hood? Can you see? Like, you can see a little face right there. And then I was also experimenting with my hair today because I never do anything to my hair besides occasionally throw it up in a ponytail. So I was feeling a little 90s today, and I did some like weird half up half down space bun things, and I'm actually kind of loving it. Yeah, so let's get into the video. Sorry if the lighting is weird. It's bright outside, it's not in here. Sorry. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump right into my inventory numbers. Also, I'm starting to get a headache because I should be wearing glasses, but whenever I do my makeup, I don't want to wear my glasses because I always get that glasses mark on the top. Anyway, I digress. So the first category I have on here is coverage drops, and I have two things of coverage drops. I think they're both from Hard Candy. I have never used either one of them. So those I'm hoping to eventually run through my project pan. I'm hoping to get it done this year. My goal is to get those used up and not have any. I find it pretty unnecessary for me personally. I don't really have a problem with breakouts a lot. I occasionally get like a couple pimples and stuff on the side of my nose or on my chin, but I don't really have a big problem with breakouts. My biggest problem is trying to even out my skin tone. Like, I get redness and stuff like in this area, but I feel like since I've been taking my skincare more seriously, that has kind of started to dissipate a little bit, so I don't need full coverage makeup, so I don't need coverage drops. They might be helpful to lighten up some of my foundations, and they might be helpful with one of the Kat Von D foundation I have to kind of thin it out a bit. So I think that's what I'm going to use them for, but otherwise I don't think I need them in my collection. So my goal is to have 0 of those. My next category is foundations. I currently have 11 foundations. I don't need that many. A couple of them are not my favorite. A couple of them I've never used before. So I'm going to be working my way through them. My goal is to have only 5. And these goals are not necessarily where I want to be by the end of 2020, but they're where I want to be eventually. And I think that I can probably get pretty close to that in 2020. I have started my project pan already. Like, I let you guys know in my original project pan video that I was going to be starting in the month of December to get a head start on it because I didn't want to wait. And I think I'm getting pretty close to finishing up the one that I put in there. I think maybe I've used up half of what I had left, which is pretty good. So I think I might be able to get to my goal for foundations this year. Maybe. I could be totally overestimating myself, but we'll see. The next category is concealers. I currently have 6. My goal, my like end goal is to have 3. I might be okay with having more than that because I know that I love the Maybelline Fit Me concealers, and whenever I buy those, I buy them in 2 shades. I buy them in my like under eye brightening shade, and I buy them in a spot concealing shade. And I like to have the spot concealing shade even though I don't really need it, because I do occasionally use that as a foundation, which is really great for a foundation, like a very light coverage one, you know what I mean? Just like a kind of like a little bit of tint to the face. I love using it for that, so I will always repurchase those in both colors. I also really like the Maybelline Age Rewind. That's probably the newest one to my collection, but I friggin' love it. It's so good. So once I finish that up, I'll definitely be repurchasing it. I think probably only in one color. But then I also really love the Milani one. and I might want to get that in 2 colors. I don't know. So I think I might, on my list I have it at 3, but I think I might bump it up to 5. I think I'd be comfortable with having 5 concealers at one time. Okay, my next category is primers, and I have on here my end goal being 3, and I think that's pretty good. I don't need a lot of primers. I have like facial oil and liquid illuminators in their own categories, so I don't need like an illuminating primer that I'm gonna mix in with my foundation. Like, I'm not counting that as a primer. That to me is counting as like a foundation mix in. So primers, I have 3. I think that's really all I need. I just need like a good moisturizing primer that's gonna make my makeup last longer and stick to it. So 3 is plenty for me. Eyeshadow primers. I currently have 1. Did I say how many primers I have? Right now I have 12 primers. I don't need 12 primers. One of them I do out of my 3. I probably will end up keeping a like pore filling primer because I do have like crazy big pores on my nose especially, and then the ones on my forehead are pretty big. The ones on my cheeks have started to diminish. I think that's due to being consistent with my skincare routine, and I've added in some products that have been really helping. But really on my nose I do need something like that. Maybe. I don't use it very much, so I don't know. We'll see. I might not. I don't know. Who cares? Eyeshadow primers. I have 1 eyeshadow primer. It is currently in my project pan, and I hate it. Spoiler alert. I hate it. It's so bad. My goal is to have 0 eyeshadow primers because I have 1. I don't need an eyeshadow primer. I use concealer as my eyeshadow primer, and that works perfectly fine for me. So my goal is 0. Glitter primer. I have 1. My goal is to have 1. I have the NYX glitter primer. I don't think I've ever used it, but I do plan on using it for some looks where I use some like glitter shades. I think that'll probably last me a couple years, and I don't feel the need to have a backup for it, so having just 1 is fine, because if I run out of it, then I can just not do looks that I need it for until I can go buy another one. So it's not a big deal. 1 is fine. Facial sprays. These are not setting sprays. Facial sprays I consider like the Mario Badescu facial spray. Kind of something that's like hydrating that I might use like mid makeup routine to kind of, you know, blend out my concealer a little bit better if it's looking a little bit creepy, or to spray before I put, or like after I put my powders on, or after I put my face powder on before I put my blush on, or something like that, to kind of like mid makeup. I don't want to set it yet, but I kind of want to hydrate things, or that I could use without makeup. That's what I consider facial spray. So I have 2, and my goal is to have 2. So goal met. The next category is setting spray. I currently have 6 setting sprays, and my goal is to have 2. I don't feel like I need more than 2. I think that a really nice everyday one, and then a like super long wearing one, that's all I need. Next is liquid illuminators. I have 5. I don't need 5. My goal is to have 1 or 2. Liquid illuminators is not really something I feel like I need a backup of, so if I just have 1, I'm fine with that. But if I have 2, that's fine. I'm not going to freak out. Facial oils, 1. And I have 2 technically. 1 is with my makeup stuff. 1 is in my bathroom because I have been using it as part of my skincare routine. The other one I have to use as like a foundation mix-in. So I have 1 facial oil. Maybe I should bump that up to 2 because technically I have 2. And my goal is to have 1. I might bump that up to 2 because having 1 for my skincare routine and 1 for my makeup, like mixing in my makeup, I'm okay with having 1 for each. So I'll bump that up to 2. Pressed powders. I have 4. My goal is to have 2. I don't feel like there needs to be anything else said about that. Loose powders. I have 4. My goal is to have 1. I really don't need that many loose powders. It's just not necessary. Although, when I made this list, after I made it, I had decided that the things that I'm going to go through and then want more of as soon as I go through it, I am okay with having an extra of. Even if my goal is really to only have 1, I'm okay with having a backup. So I'm going to change that to 2 instead of 1 for the backup purpose. The next is illuminating finishing powders. And my goal is to have 1 or 2. I currently have 2, but one of them is a palette, so it technically has 3 shades in it, but I am counting it as 1. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm counting the palette as 1, and then I have 1 more. But my goal is to have 1 or 2, so I'm okay with where I'm at. But if I only have 1, I'm also fine with that. I'm not gonna like run out to buy another one to reach my goal, you know what I mean? My next one is bronzers. I currently have 12 bronzers, and that does not include bronzers that are in blush duos that I might have in my blush drawer. That doesn't include bronzers in face palettes. So I technically have more bronzers than that, but single bronzers, I have 12. My goal is to have 2. I think having 1 cool tone one and 1 warm tone one, or like 1 lighter one and 1 darker one for winter and summer, contouring versus bronzing, you know what I mean? Because I don't really have contour powders, I don't think. So I'm fine with having 2 of 2 different shades, and I think that that's plenty because bronzers take 5 million years to go through one, for sure, for reals. Like, it's crazy. The next category is highlighters. I have 20 highlighters. Again, that doesn't include ones that are in palettes. It includes 1 highlight palette, I think. I have a Makeup Revolution highlight palette in my highlight drawer. I think I might have counted that in this. I should probably recount and double check, or like make a note. But I think I counted that. But I do know I have other highlighters in face palettes. I'm pretty dang sure. Pretty sure. Or in like a blush duo or something. But I counted the ones that were in my highlighter drawer, and I have 20. My goal is 5. I think I really enjoy highlights. They're so much fun. I think 5 is a good number. 5 gives me enough wiggle room to have like ones that I'm like playing around with, new ones that I'm playing around with, plus like a couple staples. So, and have like different shades and stuff. So I think 5 is a good number. All of these numbers are not like hard numbers, so if I'm close to them but not at them, I'm not going to freak out and be like, I need to purge or I need to use up. This is just a roundabout number that I want to be at. Like, this is a number that's better than where I am currently. Blush. Again, this does not include face palettes or blush palettes. Those are a different category. These are single blushes. Or blush duos that I have in my blush drawer, because I do have some of those, I think. I have 26, which is a lot. 26 blushes would probably take me a minimum of 13 years to go through, possibly 26 years. So, I need to get started. My goal is to have 5 of those as well. 5 is plenty of blushes. That's plenty for me to have like different shades and tones. It's fine. Next is blush toppers. I do have blush toppers separately because they serve a different purpose in my mind. I have 8 blush toppers, which is not crazy, but I don't need that many. I have 2. My goal on here, I have 2. I'm okay with having 3 or 4. I don't need 8 though. That's crazy. No, I don't need 8. Next is lip grass. What is that? Oh my god. Lip gloss. Lip gloss and creamy lips. So anything that I had, if you watch my makeup collection videos, anything that I had in the drawer that I pulled out that was like lip gloss, it was my lip gloss drawer, but I also have like creamy lip products in there. Not like bullet lipsticks, but like creamy tube lip products. I'm counting those all as one category because they're just the same to me. I have 39 and my goal is 10. Even 10 I think is more than I need. But again, that gives me wiggle room for trying new ones and having different shades and colors and stuff. Liquid lipsticks. I have 42. I don't need that many. I have one set of lips. My goal again is 10. And then bullet lipsticks. I have 58. Who on earth needs 58 bullet lipsticks? Like, not me. For sure not me. My goal is again 10. I think 10 for each of those categories is a good number for me. And next is lip balm. I currently have 25 lip balms for some godforsaken reason, and I would like to get down to 5. I think that's good. That's probably more than I need still. 5 lip balms. I don't need that many backups because I'm only going to use one at a time, but you know, it's okay. 5 is fine. Next is lip treatments / scrubs. I'm counting them as one thing. I have 3 and my goal is to have 2. One that I'm using and then a backup. Face palettes. I have 8 and my goal is 5. 5 because I really do enjoy face palettes, but I really don't need that many of them. Like, I really don't, especially because I'm already going to have individual, you know, highlighters, blushes, and bronzers. I don't need that many face palettes, so 5 is fine with me. Let's see, where am I? Eyeshadow palettes. This is including like my smaller quads and trios and stuff from e.l.f. stuff. Anything that I don't store in my single eyeshadow drawer. I have 60. 60. Just don't need that many. I don't need that many. Okay. I put my goal for eyeshadow palettes to have 40, but to be honest, eyeshadows are like my biggest weakness when it comes to makeup. And I feel like as long as I'm making sure that I don't have basically like duplicate palettes or palettes that are like super similar or palettes that I'm not in love with, as long as I don't have those, then I'm okay with my eyeshadow palette collection being a bit larger because they just bring me so much joy. They make me so happy to look at. I'm not opposed to bringing in more eyeshadow palettes that I absolutely love and that I've given a lot of thought to, as long as I am using them and working through the ones that I have. As long as I'm showing all of my palettes love, I'm okay with getting more that I'm also in love with. So I have 40 on here as my goal. I do want to use up a bunch of like the small ones that I have because I just don't need all those small ones floating around. So 40 is my number on here, but I don't necessarily feel like I have to get to that number. Single shadows and pigments. I have 24. This includes little duos that are in like little single shadow pots because I store them all in the same place. I'm counting them as single eyeshadows, but the duo, I'm not counting it as 2 eyeshadows. I'm counting it as 1 because it's 1 container. So stuff like that, single shadows and pigments, I have 24. My goal is to have 10 because I don't need very many. Like, I don't need them really. I honestly don't need any at all, but I feel like 10, if there's a single shadow that I want to try out or something like that, then, you know, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. But I really don't feel like I need any, really. Plus, pigments are fun, and this does not include, like, cream or, like, stick shadows. That's different. That's next. Oh, no. Next is ColourPop singles. I have 13. My goal is to get down to 5. 5 of my current ones. I don't foresee that I'm going to be buying more anytime soon, but if I do, then I'm okay with that. But I want to get down to 5 of my current ones because I want to use them before they start to go bad and like don't work anymore. Cream, liquid, and stick shadows. I currently have 14. My goal is to have 0 because it's just not something that I reach for. I don't feel like in my personal makeup routine it's necessary. If there's one that I feel like I just am so in love with, then maybe. But this also includes, I think this includes, yeah, this includes like glitter shadow toppers. So I might change that to like 3 or something like that, because I think like the toppers are fun. So maybe I'll change that to like 3, and then I'll put a note saying I want them to all be toppers. Okay, cool, done. Loose glitter, I have 4. I would prefer to have 0. I don't use them, so I would like to get down to 0 of what I currently have. If in the future I find a loose glitter that I'm absolutely obsessed with and I get use out of it, then I'm okay with having glitters in my collection. The whole point of this is I want my collection to be full of things that I love and I use. So that's the point. I have brow filler on here. I don't know why I called it brow filler, but what I meant was products to fill in my brows, like a brow pencil or a brow pomade. Something like that. That kind of product. That's what I meant when I wrote down brow filler. I currently have 5. I would prefer to have 2. One that I'm currently using and a backup, or one I'm currently using and one I'd like to try out. You know, I don't need more than 2 because I don't use more than 1 brow product at a time, like to fill in my brows. And then brow gel, I have 2, and I would like to have 2. One I'm using and a backup, or one that I would like to try. Lip liners, I have 6. I have on here for my goal to be 0 because currently I don't use them ever, so I don't feel like I need to have any at all. However, if throughout this year when I'm project panning my lip liners, if I decide that I really do like lip liners and I would like to have a few in a few different shades, then I'll change my number. But currently I don't feel like I need them. But it's up for change, you know, it could change. Currently next is lip primers. Currently I have 2 lip primers. I have an e.l.f. one and a Buxom one. I don't know how I feel about them. I haven't used them consistently enough to really create an actual opinion on them. So I don't have a goal written down on here because I might love them. Like I might love using a lip primer for certain things. I might hate it. I don't know. So I'm not going to put 0 because I don't know how I feel about them. So I'm going to use them first, and then I'll put a number. Next is liquid eyeliners. I have 17. I don't need 17. I put 5 for my goal. I'm thinking like 1 black one and maybe a backup for black, and then I think that gives me some room to have a few colorful ones that I would like in colors that I would get a lot of use out of. Gel liners, I currently have 3. 1 is black, 2 are colored, like one's like a periwinkle blue and one's an orange. The 2 colored ones are from ColourPop. I haven't used them yet. I probably should because I don't want them to dry out. But I currently have 3, and I don't have a goal written down because I literally have never used a gel liner before. I bought a black gel liner because it was recommended by some YouTuber and I would like to give it a try. And then I have the 2 colorful ones from ColourPop because, again, I would like to give them a try. But I don't know how I feel about gel liners yet, so I don't have a goal written down. Next I have eyeliner pencils. I have 18 eyeliner pencils. Lord only knows why, because I don't. My goal is to have 10, so that's not too big of a difference, but 10, I think, because I really do enjoy using like colored liner in my waterline. I think that's really fun. I think it can change a look completely. It can finish off a look. So I think 10 would be good, like a white, a black, maybe like a skin tone color, and then some fun colorful ones. Mascaras. Mascaras are embarrassing because I have 25 mascaras. A lot of those are open too. Most of those are open, I think, which why? Why, brain? Why? I don't understand why I have so many mascaras open, and I'm not going to be able to get through all the open ones before they dry up. It's just not possible. I don't know why I do this to myself. Like, why did I do that? I don't know. My goal is to have 5, like total 5. A lot of those mascaras are colored mascaras, which I do like, and I think they're fun. And one of them is like a glitter mascara topper. So I have 5. I would like to have one black one open, period, just one at a time. And then that gives me room for maybe 1 or 2 backups. And then maybe a glitter topper one or a couple colorful ones. So I think 5 is a good number. Lashes. I currently have 12 pairs of lashes. Actually, not 12 pairs of lashes. I have 12 boxes of lashes. Some of those are single pairs. Some of those have multiple pairs. But I have 12 boxes of lashes. Have I ever worn lashes in my entire life? Once. Recently, like last month to my sister's wedding was the first time I ever wore false lashes. But for some reason, I've had all of these boxes of lashes sitting and I need to use them. So I don't have a goal on them because I don't really know how I feel about them yet because I've only ever worn false lashes once. So I have 12. I'm going to work my way through them and figure out how I feel. I feel like I might end up really liking them if I can figure out how to get them on properly. I think I might end up really enjoying wearing false lashes because my natural lashes are like half blonde. They're like kind of darker at the base, but then like the tip half is like blonde and they're straight and short. So they're very unimpressive. So I might really love wearing lashes. Who knows? We're almost done here. Facial moisturizers. I did put some skincare stuff in here because they are like I am putting these types of things into my project pan, so I figured I'd put them in here. Facial moisturizer. I didn't put all of my categories on here. Oh yeah, I did. Okay. Facial moisturizers. I have 7. I actually have a few more now because I did purchase like an e.l.f. trio like sampler moisturizer thing. I haven't added them on here, but when I go back and I recount this, I think I'm either going to be doing, I might just do a recap on this at the end of the year. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a 6-month one or not. I haven't decided yet, but whenever I do an update on this inventory list, I'll just count it, I'll recount it, so it'll add the numbers to that then. But before that, I had 7, and my goal is to have 2. I really don't feel like I need more than 2, like 1 I'm currently using and 1 as a backup, or 1 daytime one, 1 nighttime one. That's all I really need. Foot creams. I have 2. My goal is to have 2, so there you go. Body lotions. I did not bother counting my body lotions because I have a stupid amount. If you watch that video, you would know. I have too many. And in that video, my goal was not to have a specific number, but it was just to use up all my really big ones and use up all my really small ones. So that's my goal that I have on here. Use up all small and large bottles. And I just want to be left with like the average kind of medium-sized bottles. Fragrances. I currently have 25. My goal is to have 5. So that's going to take a long time because a lot of those bottles are very large. So wish me luck. The last category I have on here is nail polish. I currently have 52 nail polishes. My goal is to have 20. I think right now my goal is to have 20, but when I get down to 20, if I feel like that's not enough, then I'm okay with getting more. Really, I just want to challenge myself to use up a lot of the ones that I have. I'm not going to be getting acrylics for a while. I did purchase some like plastic nail tips that I'm going to just be, you know, gluing on myself and then painting over them to make like so that my nails are still, I haven't done it yet, but so that my nails still look good, but I'm working through my own nail polish stash. So I would like to have 20, and that I am including like base coat, top coat, that in there. So yeah, that's my goal for now. So that is my entire makeup inventory, my pre-2020 makeup inventory, and I think I might end up doing a 6-month update, but if I don't, then you'll get an update at the end of the year of where I am on all of this. Some of these categories I'm pretty close and it won't be too difficult to get to my goal. Some of them I'm at my goal, Some of them will probably take me the next 10 years to reach my goal. Like fragrances. How long is it going to take me to get through a full-size body mist from Bath & Body Works? Probably several months, and I have like 10 of those. So, maybe more. Who knows? Not me. That's it. That's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I can fix the lighting and editing and everything because it's not the greatest. But anyway, that's going to be it. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. And I am actually really excited because at the end of this month, it is the 23rd currently of December 2019. At the end of this month, I get to do an update on my Project Pan, and I'm making some progress on some things, so it's exciting. And I really want to add some more things in, so I'm excited about that. If you're interested in seeing my update for my Project Pan, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified when that goes up, because it's good stuff, if I do say so myself. Anyway, that's it. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye.